Good morning. So I'm actually on Killian Court right now of MIT. I had a couple of minutes, or actually I had like half an hour to spare before my next class. So I thought I would enjoy the outside and the lake and just the nice weather, and also do a video on, I guess, just reflecting back on the college application process and just what I did in high school and giving advice and things like that. So I know a lot of my friends have done this video already, which is kind of why I'm doing it. But I guess today I'm just going to go over different stats that I had in high school, different extracurriculars, but also looking back things that I would have done differently, or maybe things that I'm really happy I did. So to start off, I'll start off with stats. And so I took the SAT. I got a 1540 the first time and a 1570 the second time, and I didn't bother retaking it. I was never very strong on the writing section. For some reason, I just couldn't get a very good score on it, and so I actually got the same score both times, which honestly was a pretty bad score, but I feel like it didn't matter and it wasn't important enough to me that I wanted to retake the SAT. I do wish that I had taken the ACT. So for me, so one thing that you can do is you can translate your SAT score to the ACT score, and it's a different translation depending on when you take the SAT. And so for me, my 1570 actually translated it to a 36 out of 36 for the ACT, so that was fine. But I do have a lot of friends who performed much better on the ACT or got a full score much more easily on the ACT. So for anyone who's math or science inclined, I would definitely recommend that. In terms of subject tests, I took 3 subject tests: physics, chemistry, and math 2, and I only reported chemistry and physics, and I got an 800 on both of them. I would definitely recommend taking math 2 and not math 1. I honestly don't know anyone who's taken math 1, and definitely I think that if you work for it, you can get an 800. But a lot of people don't get 800 the first time, which is totally understandable. I was lucky and I only had to take my subject tests in one sitting, so that was good for me. In terms of APs, our school's a little different, so our school really focuses on trying to get people to heavy load APs their junior year. And so my sophomore year, I took 2 APs. My junior year, I took 7, and my senior year, I took 5. And I definitely did not get 5s on all my APs. I probably got 4 or 5 4s. And honestly, it doesn't matter. Other than for college credit, because MIT only takes 5s. I didn't get credit in some classes, but I'm honestly okay with it. And for me at least, it only gives elective credit, so it's not the biggest deal anyways. What else? In terms of GPA, I was top 10% of my class, and so what different public schools will do is the top 6, for all Texas at least, the top 6% of any public school is auto-admit into, maybe 6 or 7, I don't remember, is auto-admit into the state college. So for me, that was UT Austin, and I was auto-admit for that. So I was doing pretty good on terms of GPA, and so yeah. But the thing I will say is that honestly, like, I have friends who are perfect score applicants, like full score everything, full score APs, SATs, subject tests, and honestly, like, you really don't need that to get into a good college. How most colleges view it, at least my understanding, is that you have to have a certain, like, as long as you have good grades and a good enough SAT score, that's enough to get you considered. And then what's going to get you into a college are things like your extracurriculars, your personality, and your essays and all of that. And so in terms of extracurriculars, my biggest extracurricular was definitely Science Olympiad. And so I was on the Science Olympiad team for 3 years, and then I was a captain for 2 years. Honestly, colleges don't really care about Science Olympiad nearly as much as they should, because Science Olympiad is a giant time commitment. But I really enjoyed Science Olympiad. I did it more for the fun and more for the community than anything else, and I think that's really important. That unless you're passionate about something in high school, like, what's the point of doing well in it? And so for Science Olympiad though, I did compete. Our school, I was lucky, so I went to a school where our Science Olympiad team was actually really good. So we would always compete at like nationals, or no, we went to nationals once in the time that I was there. But we would also always go, like, we would travel a lot. We would go to big colleges, like we compete at the MIT Invitational 3 times. We'd compete at like Berkeley or UPenn, and so because of that, I did get a good amount of medals on that scale. And so over the years, I definitely accumulated a lot of medals. In terms of like, and then I know my nationals, my sophomore year, me and my like 2 partners did get first in experimental design, which is really cool. But unfortunately, I honestly don't think that colleges really care about that. maybe they do. I think it varies based on colleges. I think MIT does care about Science Olympiad a little more than other colleges do, but in the end, it's if you want your one-way ticket into a college, like do an Olympiad, do like Bio Olympiad or something. Probably not Science Olympiad. What else did I do? So I was in charge of a lot of clubs. My friend and I, for my freshman year, started a volunteering club that we were both founders for 4 years. I was involved in like what other clubs? I was in charge of like more philanthropic things. Like I was an ambassador for our school. I was in diversity club and things like that. So I was definitely involved. And in terms of like outside of school, I didn't do any sports. I kind of wish I did. I didn't restart ice skating until the end of my senior year. I did science fair and Regeneron, but I also didn't do that until second semester senior year, so that didn't really factor into college applications for me. In terms of what I did during my summers, I did spend a lot of my summers doing a lot of volunteer work, and so definitely do that. And what I would recommend is for 3 summers did volunteer work with challenged children, and that was just something that I was really interested in. And it like after the first summer, I really didn't need any more volunteer hours, but I just kept doing it because it was something that I truly and genuinely enjoyed that wasn't academic. And so I did that, and then I also did my summer before senior year, I did a research project with a program at a college in Texas. So definitely do research. I feel like MIT especially really values having that research portfolio in your application. And so for my research, I worked on a project independently, although I worked with a lab group. And then I also wrote a paper and gave a presentation on that. So doing something like that is definitely really good. I would say it would definitely help your application. And so please, I recommend that, especially if you want to go to MIT. But again, I'm not I'm not an expert, and so don't take everything I say as like the one way you have to get in. Let's see what else. In terms of MIT, I did apply early. It was my top choice school, and so I'm really happy I got in. It made the college application process a lot easier. There's a massive bug. Oh my gosh. Oh. It's 2 massive bugs on top of each other. That's just awkward. So a couple of weeks ago, actually before school started, me and a couple of other people in our community actually gave a panel talk on college application advice for like just high schoolers in our area. And so I guess it's a couple things that we did talk about is there really is no right way to go through high school, and honestly, just figure out what you're passionate about and just excel in it. Don't guide what you do based on college applications, but just I guess maybe use it as a motivator to do well in what you're interested in. I know that I'm trying to think more advice I can give. In terms of one of the biggest things that I would say I regret is, especially in middle school, I was like, wow, I'm so busy, like I should explore my interests later. In high school, I kind of had the same way, but honestly, like really go for what you're interested in. That is a great time to explore. Even though you feel like you're busy with high school and like grades and everything, you're never gonna get a better time to explore what you're interested in. And college is the same thing, like being here, we get like all these opportunities to explore things, but like in the end of the day, you're just so busy in college and you're gonna have so much schoolwork that definitely start early and explore your passions, please. I really wish I had done that more. I'm so glad I did Science Olympiad because that's how I explored my passions. Wow, nature is just really coming at me today. Anyways, I guess the last thing that I want to talk about is, so now that I've talked about like scores and stats and everything, I guess in terms of like my college application itself, I didn't apply to too many colleges. I early Georgia Tech and MIT, and I also applied to UT Austin and Rice and Harvard. I got waitlisted for Harvard. I have a whole college reaction video for all of those. If you want to see the actual results of my other schools, I did. I guess my second choice school that I also got into was Rice/Georgia Tech. Those were also schools I was really excited about. And yeah, that was, I guess, start early on college applications, but not too early, because honestly, you're not going to know what to write until like right before your senior year. And I guess my last bit is, how am I enjoying MIT? Today is actually the 3rd day of classes. It's kind of weird. Like, my advice, I guess I do really love this school. I'm so fortunate to be here, and all the people here are amazing. My friends are amazing, and I'm still, of course, sorry, I like keep glancing at the bugs because I don't want them to get any closer to me. But I guess the biggest thing is I do think that this school, so far at least, is a good fit for me. I'm really happy to be here, and of course I'm really grateful to be here. On the first day of school, my mom was like, oh, like, have a good day, like, you should feel honored that you get to like sit in these MIT seminars and classes. And she didn't say that in a way like, oh, you should be grateful, but she was just like happy for me. And so yeah, I do love this school. Definitely apply here if you like it too, or just honestly shoot your shot, even if you think you have no chances, or even if you're not sure, and check out this place and give this place a shot. And so thank you for listening to me ramble for a while. If you have any questions, a couple of people have contacted me through my blog. There's a contact section on my blog, so check that out if you want to. I'm also on Instagram. So yeah, you can watch my college reaction video or my move-in video, but I definitely am planning to produce a lot more MIT videos. So definitely subscribe if you like this video, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye!